More on Al Jarreau this morning, 7 a.m. Good morning. Hello. John Henry Soto here. It is 7 a.m. Today is May 25th, 2021. And last night or yesterday morning on the show, I did a show on my favorite singers, my top five favorite singers. And the number one for me was Al Jarreau. And I love Al Jarreau. Always have since I was probably, I guess, since the moonlighting, right in the 80s when I was a teenager, and I heard that song, the moonlighting song. Not one of my favorite songs, but that one kind of turned me on to that. And then shortly after that, he had a string of hits. If y'all remember, he had a string of hits on MTV. One called "Morning," another one called "Boogie Down." Um, he very popular rendition of Spain that he did on. He has a live album where he did a very popular rendition, and he's done that. That's like one of his tracks that he does. That's really amazing. And I said to myself, well, after the show yesterday morning, I wanted to talk more about Al because I didn't really read his bio and I didn't really go into. I just talked about how much I liked him, but I was like, I didn't talk about him. I talked about me liking him, which is not really what you're supposed to do on my thing on my show. I want to give information, right? So anyway, I was just like, I didn't have anything planned for today's show. I have the rest of the week I have actually planned, but today it's a toss up between some of the shows that I was going to do this week. So I said, well, you know what? I think I have it in here. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to actually add that in. I'm going to do that today. This way I'll be able to give proper props to the man. Um, so the year for me was 1980 something. Um, and he was the TV show was um, Moonlighting. Moonlighting, if you guys remember, was Bruce Willis and a very Sybil Shepherd. I don't know if y'all remember that show. It was a funny show. It was cool. I think they were better before they got them together. I don't know if everybody remembers that. Everybody, are they gonna get together? Are they gonna get together? I mean, if you're old enough to remember that, probably not. But anyway, he sang the lead to that that show, and it was really good. It was a good show. But anyway, it introduced me to that, and then there was a song called "Morning," which is a very cute song. It's a very melodic song. Has some really good vocal performances on it. Again, unfortunately, I can't play these tracks because they they'll either take my video down or they're muted. Really annoying that we can't do that. I can do it on other platforms because they're not so ad driven. But it really makes no sense when you're actually admiring someone and you want to actually present it and you want people to know about it. Maybe someone who's never heard of Al Jarreau, or at least has heard of him but just doesn't really know what he's about. Maybe this would actually be beneficial to them. Anyway, we're going to talk about them today. It is 7 a.m. My name is John Henry Soto. I appreciate y'all coming in. If you like these morning things that I do here, and I have received some very nice messages from some of you that have, which I appreciate you very much. But if you actually just happen to stumble upon this crazy little Puerto Rican here, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, my YouTube channel, or my Facebook pages. And join me 7 a.m. here every morning, where I talk about different topics. Some of them I take topics from audience members that actually send me, hey, you should talk about this, and I'll go and I'll research it and then I'll present it. And sometimes I will just talk about silly things that pop into my head. Usually, I try not to get on the soapbox here, so I try not to go political or anything on my views. I will talk about my upbringing, growing up in the South Bronx, things like that, and I try to relate it to what's happening in the world. But I don't try to do the soapbox thing, not as much as I used to. 2020, soapbox king, and I did good too. But anyway, that's another story, another show. All right, so Mr. Al Jarreau, um, Al Jarreau, pretty great guy. So I'm gonna just read a little bit about him, and if anybody has any questions out there or anything that I could answer, please let me know. I appreciate y'all very, very much. All right. So, Al was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on March 12th, 1940. He's the fifth of six children. His father was a Seventh day Adventist church minister and singer, and his mother was a church pianist. Jarreau and his family sang together in church concerts and in benefits, and Jarreau and his mother performed at PTA meetings. uh, Jarreau, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Jarreau. I've always said Al Jarreau, but Jarreau. Anyway, Jarreau let me see what I don't want to get to a point here. I don't want to give too much boring information. Not that this is all boring, but in 1968, Jarreau um, made jazz his primary occupation. In 1969, he and Martinez headed south, where Jarreau appeared at Dino's, the Troubadour, the Bitter End West. Television exposure came from Johnny Carson, Mike Douglas, Murph Griffin, Diana Shore, David Frost. I'm sure you all know exactly who those people are. Anybody that's under 30 is like, huh? Who's Johnny Carson? I think I heard of him sometimes before. Um, he expanded his nightclub appearances, performing at the Improv between the acts, such rising stars as Bette Midler, Jimmy Walker, John Belushi. During this period, he became involved in the United Church of Religious Science and the Church of Scientology. Also, roughly at the same time, he began writing his own lyrics, finding that his Christian spirituality began to influence his work. In 1975, Jarreau was working with pianist Tom Canning when he was spotted by Warner Brothers Records. Soon he released his critically acclaimed debut album, We Got By. Great one. Which catapulted him to international fame and won an Echo Award, the German equivalent of the Grammys in the United States, on Valentine's. And he won that award. On Valentine's Day, 1976, he sang on the 13th episode of NBC's Saturday Night Live, that week hosted by Peter Boyle. A second Echo Award would follow with the release of his second album, Glow. In 1978, he won his first Grammy for Best Jazz Vocal Performance for his album, Look to the Rainbow. Great one. One of Jarreau's most commercially successful albums is Breaking Away in 1981. Which songs, hit songs, We're in This Together. I don't know if y'all remember that song. It was a huge hit. We're in this love together. We're gonna make it. Anyway, it's a great song. He won the 1982 Grammy Awards for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance for Breakin Away. In 1983, he released Jarreau. It was his third consecutive number one album on the Billboard jazz charts, while also placing number 4 on the R&B album charts and number 13 on the Billboard 200. The album contained 3 hit singles: Morning, which is the one I talk about, US Pop 21, Boogie Down, and Trouble in Paradise, which went up to 63. In 1984, the album received 4 Grammy nominations, including for Jay Graddon as producer of the year for non-classical. Now, in 1984, his single "After All" reached 64. I don't know if y'all remember that. After all, I will be the one to learn to. I will be the one to hold you out in my arms. After all. Anyway, great song also. Nice ballad song. That reached number 69 on the US Hot 100 charts and number 26 on the R&B chart. Hi. Change pictures here. All right. So let me see. 26. It was especially popular in the Philippines. His last big hit was Grammy nominated theme to the 1980s American television series Moonlighting, for which he wrote the lyrics. Among other things, he was well known for his extensive use of scat singing, which is called uh, uh, ar- acrobat of scat. So that's when people go, see how good I am? I'm so good at scatting. I'm a scatting Puerto Rican. Um, he was also a featured vocalist on the USA's Africa for We Are the World. Everybody remembers that. We are the world. We are the children. That was the 1980 something, 85, 86. And so we all must lend a helping hand, which is another song. Yeah, when he sang the line, we must all, yeah, must lend a helping hand. That's right, I remember that now. Another charitable media event was HBO's Comic Relief, featured him in a duet with Natalie Cole. They sang Mr. President, written by Joe Sterling. Jarreau took an extended break from recording in the 1990s. As he explained in an interview in Jazz Review, I was still touring. In fact, I toured more than I ever had in the past. So I kept in touch with my audience. I got my symphony program underway, which included my music and that of other people too. And I performed on the Broadway production of Grease. I was busier than ever for the most part. I was doing what I've always done, perform live. I was shopping for a record deal and was letting people know that there is a new album coming. I was just waiting for the right label, but I toured more than ever. In 2003, Jarreau and conductor Larry Bard collaborated on symphony shows around the United States, with Bard arranging additional orchestral material for Jarreau's show. Jarreau toured and performed with Joe Sample, Chick Corea, Kathleen Battle, Gregor Pratek, Miles Davis, George Duke, David Sanborn, Rick Braun, and George Benson. He also performed the role of the teen angel in the 1986 Broadway production of Grease. The teen angel. Oh yeah, remember Beauty School Dropouts. No back. Oh, I would love to see that. I never saw that actually, unfortunately, but that was on Broadway. On March 2001, he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 7083 Hollywood Boulevard, on the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and LeBrow Avenue. In 2006, Jarreau appeared in the duet with American Idol finalist Paris Bennett during a session during the season 5, and the celebrity duet singing with Cheech Marin. Cheech Marin, really? I read this earlier, but I don't remember that. In 2009, children's author Carmen Rubin published the story Ashish Meets Birdman, inspired by Jarreau's music. In 2010, Jarreau was a guest on a Dumir Delato album with the song Double Face. Now I'm getting down to the bottom where I didn't read all this down. The song was produced by Italian company Nicolosi Productions on February 16, 2012. He was invited to the Italian Festival de Sanremo to sing the Italian group with the Italian group Mattia Bazara. All right. A little bit about his personal life. He was married twice. He married Phyllis Hall. They were married in 1964. They got divorced in 1968. His second wife, Susan Player, was married to him from 19 for 14 years. She was 14 years his junior. They got married in 1977, and they stayed together until his passing in 2017. They had a son named Ryan, Ryan Jarreau, and um, Susan also appeared as background vocalist on Today. She also provided several photographs for the albums, including Glow, All Fly Home, This Time Breaking Away, and she's the subject of the song Suzanne's song, track number 3 on We Got By, which is one of his first album. Great album. So there you have it. He suffered a little bit from some illnesses in 2010. He was he was hospitalized, and he was conscious, and then he was released, and then he toured again extensively for about 5 years after that until his death. He basically just canceled. It was on that year that he passed that he just stopped touring. On February 8th, 2017, after being hospitalized for exhaustion in Los Angeles, he canceled the remaining 2017 tour dates. On that day, he didn't appear at the Monterey Jazz Festival in Switzerland, announced that he would not return, that he had done that since 2015. And on February 12th, 2017, he died of, of respiratory failure at the age of 76, just 2 days after announcing his retirement and 1 month before his 77th birthday. Al Jarreau. Sorry I read all that and my reading sucks, but I wanted to really give as much information on here so I can document it um, for myself and for anyone that's interested on who he was. You should definitely check out his records. I have some more information here. They just released actually 20 this year a new album actually. And maybe I can just share it. I'll just share it. If I get in trouble for sharing this, then I don't know what to I don't know what to say. Can't imagine why I would get in trouble for sharing something like this, but who knows? Who the hell knows? Oh, wait a second. I guess I can't do that. I have to share my guess I have to share this. There we go. And boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's not coming out, is it? That's too bad. All right. Well, right there in that black spot should be should be the Spotify, which I wanted to show some of his records, but I guess that's not going to work. So anyway, so Al Jarreau, one of my favorite singers of all time. My mother as well. My mother always turned me on to great singers and to great music, and she's the one that turned me on to country music. It's why I love country music, because I don't know if y'all remember when Kenny Rogers made that transition back in the 80s, right, where you had those famous all those hit songs. Lady, which was the ballad, and She Believes in Me. And then she did the duet with Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream. My mother loved that record so much. She played it over and over and over and over on the record player. It was on rotation. It would just come back and then play again. Islands in the Stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another line. Over and over and over again. But it turned me on to Dolly Parton, also who I love, and of course Kenny Rogers, and that led to more country music, and started that. So my mom was a big influence on me musically. She supported me always as a musician. She would come to my shows. My mom had a very distinctive cough. It wasn't anything weird, but I recognized her cough because she's my mom and I know her. And she would go, so she would do this, right? So I'd be on stage and I know she's there, but the lights on and I don't know what direction she's at. So I would hear she would do that loud on purpose, and then I would go and I'd be like, she's over there, and I would be able to see her. And sometimes I'd see her and I'm like, hey. But yeah, she came to my shows and she was very supportive, and I loved my mom very much. Still love my mom, obviously. She passed away in 2009. Can't believe it's been already. It's gonna be like 11 years, 12 years. Jesus. That's crazy. But yes, but she was a big influence on me musically. And I remember us sitting in the living room listening to Al Jarreau come up on the MTV with Morning, and great, great memories. So all right, I'm going to end off this one a little bit sooner because I've been talking a lot about Al and I've been reading a lot. And I hope you're all doing really well out there, having a wonderful day. It is Tuesday. Get out there and enjoy the day. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. I can't really tell from here, but I saw the sun this morning, which would look nice. So we'll see what happens. Enjoy your day. I will see you all tomorrow. Make today great. Do the things that you love and take care of yourselves. And as always, peace.